So today I'm going to be testing out the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. This is their hydrating foundation. It just recently launched here within the past week or so on Colourpop's site, and then I believe Ulta. I think Ulta had like the exclusive first, like you could pick it up like a day before it launched on like the Colourpop site or something like that. I don't remember, but I got mine through Ulta, and I actually got pretty quick shipping also, so I was very excited about that. I ended up picking up the shade Medium 100W. I was gonna get the one that's very similar to my other shade, which is 90, which is what I use in the no filter, but I ended up going in with this one because I do have a little bit of a tan, and that one that I have right now is slightly too light, so I thought, you know, I'd throw this one in, and when this gets too dark, then I'll probably just end up using this in combination with my Colourpop, I hope. So it is dermatologist tested, oil-free, and vegan. But this does have coconut water and it does have hyaluronic acid. So I'm going to start off with the putty primer. This is by ALL. It's their matte putty primer. And this is just one that I'm pulling from my Shop My Stash, which this will go up at before my Shop My Stash. So spoiler alert, that's in my bag this month. I like to put this more along my cheek area. Since I'm just testing out foundation today, I don't think I'm going to do like anything crazy with my makeup. At least that's the plan. I'm just going to be hanging out around the house, but it's supposed to be like 90 degrees. So I'm like, oh, we shall see. This is probably the worst time to test it. I also did use the DHC Skin Velvet Coat. This here is another product that I pulled into my project pan. So I just use that right here because that does a really great job at like smoothing out pores and just kind of minimizing them. I'm also going to spray my face. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is their Ultra Matte All Nighter. And I like to use this product before I spray, or before I put on any foundation, I should say. And this is really just going to help kind of keep in the, hopefully keep in the oils. We'll see. I live in a very humid climate. I live in the Chicago area, so it's very humid here. It's very hot. So in case you guys are wondering, because I do also think that the weather can do a lot to how foundations play, and I've had instances where in certain climates I hated my foundation, and in other climates I thought it did very well. So I am a little bit nervous because it does have coconut water in it, so I'm hoping it doesn't break me out. I haven't had any issues with coconut water breaking me out, but I do find that if I consistently use something with coconut in it, I tend to get these little tiny bumps like on my skin, and they're not like, they're pimples, but they've got little tiny whiteheads, and they're just really small, itty bitty, and I find that I get them right in this area. So I only find that if I use a product consistently, like a setting spray or a primer. So if I ever do use a product, I know like to use it sparingly. This is the packaging. This does come with the pump. It does have, I believe, 1 fluid ounce. Yes. And this is actually a frosted plastic bottle, but it does very much look like it's glass. But it does come with the pump, which I always appreciate. It says it's a buildable medium coverage. So let's use a sponge first. If I need to add a little bit more coverage, then I'll go in with a brush for any extra coverage. I may have gone too dark. Also, most of you guys do know here on my channel, but in case you didn't know and you are new to my channel, I am acne prone and I am oily combo skin. So similar. I may have gotten something a little too, it might be a little too yellow for me. All right, so there you have one layer. It's honestly not as hydrating as I was expecting it to be. I'm thinking like kind of dewy. Honestly, when I hear hydrating, I'm like, oh shit, it's dewy. But I think I'm just more like confused about the color. You see that? Like it's just super intense. Let's apply our second layer. I do like that it's not immediately clinging or settling in my fine lines. The drama that just keeps going, am I right? Keep looking at the screen because I'm like, this looks really orange. And in the screen, it looks just as orange as it does on my face right now. I'm gonna take a little bit of a pump because I feel like the sponge, I might need a little bit more coverage right here. So I just want a little bit more coverage on my cheeks. and I feel like the sponge is just giving it too light of a coverage for me. And I'm just going to pat that in. Okay, there we go. Perfect. This is very common. I'll go in with a sponge first and just, you know, put on my foundation, and then anywhere I normally need to add some extra coverage, I will have to go in with the brush. So my brows are done. I'm gonna go in and highlight a little bit. I do have to take 2 concealers because this is obviously way too dark for me. So I'm mixing concealers at this current moment. So I don't really have a whole lot of plans today also. I think we're just going to be hanging around the house. The kids are probably gonna play on the trampolines, sprinklers, the pool. Okay, so I went ahead and just set underneath my eyes using the Hourglass. This is the translucent veil powder. And then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna just go in with my Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. I like this powder though because it's very lightweight, and it's one of those powders where if you don't necessarily blot, you can set on top and it won't get cakey, and it just feels lightweight on the skin too. Now that that is set, I'm gonna now go in with the All Nighter by Urban Decay. This is a translucent setting powder, but it's just gonna help keep you matte. It still feels a little dewy, but I'm wondering, my biggest concern is, even though I set it, if it will seep through my powder, and some foundations do that when they are that hydrating. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup, and I will show you guys really quickly what it looks like. So I will be right back. Now that everything is on, you guys, I feel so much better, honestly. My skin just feels a little bit more matte and dry and set. So we're gonna go ahead and basically go on with our day. It is 11:22. For some reason, I have a feeling that the saturation level was really high on my settings, because I'm like, this is really intense. So I fixed the saturation levels, so this is what my face should look like. It still is a little, I feel like it looks a little bit more put together. Like, obviously the blush is maybe a little intense, but we'll see how long that holds up. So I just wanted to do a quick little catch up with you guys and just show you guys really quickly what it looks like in natural lighting, just so you guys can see. You like that? But this is just basically what it looks like in natural daylight and stuff. So I think it's holding up pretty well. I think like the lights in the studio were obviously like way more darker, but I think now like in natural light, I feel like it really looks, you know, it matches. Like, I was really nervous about that, but now that we're like here in natural lighting, I feel like it matches way more. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So yeah. All right, so it has been a few minutes, you guys. I do apologize. I know I said I was gonna come back at 4 o'clock, but it is now 7:19. You see that? It is now 7:19. I'd say that I think it's held up really well. In comparison to a lot of other foundations that I've worn, I think it's done a really good job. Like, it's not seeping into my fine lines or anything. I feel like with all the precautions and everything I took with the mattifier, the spray, the blurring primer, everything, I think overall it looks really good. I mean, my lashes look a little janky, but I think it looks really good. Like, it actually, my blush and bronzer are holding up still. If you're oily or combo skin, I still think you could definitely get use out of this foundation. I like the way that it looks. I mean, not right now, I definitely need to mattify, but I like the way that it looked throughout the day. It doesn't feel heavy. Honestly, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup at all, and it feels really nice and refreshing. I'm starting to just now see a little breaking right in this area, but I would definitely say after 9 hours, that's like incredible. No, 8 hours. I think that's incredible. My nose is still holding forward. Usually what happens is that my forehead, like, it'll start to break through right here. So I find that really impressive. I can definitely say as a first impression, I am super pleased. I love the way that this looks. Anyways, that is today's review. Thank you so much for watching my review on this foundation. Let me know down below if you guys have seen this foundation and your thoughts on it. If you guys didn't know, I do other foundation reviews. We just recently did one on an air stick, which is kind of like an SPF from Benefit, so make sure to check that out. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate that, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.